Okay, so today we are going to be working on adding two numbers that aren't even tens. Okay, so we've used one number that's not an even 10 and added it to another number that is an even 10. And that's pretty easy because when your ones don't change and you know that only your tens changes, then that's an easier way to add than if both of them might change. Okay? Now, so what I mean by that is that if I added the number 12 and I added it to, let's do 8. Okay? Now, in our heads, we can decide that 12 and 8 go together. Okay? And if we started at 12 and counted up 8 times, we would go from 12 to 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, and 20. So, we're looking at the number that we started with. We started with a 2 in the ones place, and we started with a 1 in the tens place. And when I look down at my answer, they both changed, right? Well, the bigger the numbers that you're adding, the more times, I guess more complicated it can kind of feel. And so we have to introduce you to a word called regrouping. Now, regrouping just means that the tens place also changed. Okay? Regrouping means the tens place changed. So I'm going to write down two different problems for you as an example. Okay? We're going to do, we'll do 13 plus 5. And then we'll also do 14 plus 8. Okay? Now, starting with 13 plus 5, we can start with our 13 in our head and count up 5 places. 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. That's right. So 13 plus 5 is 18. Now, I started, the first number that I had a 1 in the tens place. My answer also has a 1 in the tens place. That means that I did not have to regroup. Okay? Now, regrouping is just a fancy way of saying that your tens place also changed. So, because my tens place did not change, started with a 1 there, ended with a 1 there, I did not have to regroup. So, no regrouping on that one. Let's look at this one, however. We can start with our 14. Okay? 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22. Now, there's a little funny way that we can write this, okay? And I'm going to start off doing it this way. The way I'm going to pretend that my 1 isn't there, okay? And I'm going to say that 8 and 4, because I already know that one in my head already, is 12. I'm going to put the 2 for my ones place, but then the 10, the 1 that's in the tens place for the 12 actually goes up here. And we're going to put a little box up here. And then I say 1 plus 1 is 2. So, if I have to put something up here, or if my tens place changes, then that means that I regrouped. Okay? So, let's take a look at some more problems. If you're not 100% clear on it, that's okay. I think because we're going to do 6 examples here on the board. And this is going to go on the front of your paper. Okay? This should look like the front of your paper. You don't have to write all these down at one time. Just work on them one at a time, okay? So, let me turn my little camera just a little bit so you can see me perhaps a little better. Don't shake too much, Mr. Camera. There we go. All right, so let's look at number 1. And let's work out, we're starting with 29, and we are going to add 4. Okay? So start with 29 and add 4. So 29, and then we go to 30, 31, 32. That's right, 33. So 29 plus 4 is 33. Now the question over here that we have to answer is, did we regroup? Now remember what regrouping means. It's just kind of a funny, fancy way of saying, did my tens place change? Look at our first number that we started with. We had a 2 in the tens place. Over here, what do we have in the tens place? 33. So, are those two numbers the same? No, they are not. That means they changed. So, yes, we regrouped for number 1. Now let's take a look at number 2. 48 plus 7. Okay? 48 plus 7. Let's start with 48. 48, 49, 50, 51, 52, 53, 54, and that's right, 55. So, I started with a 4 in the tens place over here, and at my answer, the sum, did my tens place change in order for me to get my answer? Yes, it did, because 4 had to become 5, right? I had to have a 4 in the tens place, and then I ended with a 5 in the tens place. So again, I had to regroup to do that one, okay? We had to regroup for that one. Now let's look at number 3, 31 plus 8. So let's start with 31 up here, 31, 39, 31, 32, 33, 34, 35, 36, 37, 38, and 39. Okay? So, here for this one, I started with a 3 in the tens place. I ended with a 3 in the tens place. It did not change, which means I did not regroup. You with me? You starting to kind of get the hang of it? Good. Let's keep on. Let's just really quickly go through these then. 41, and we're going to add 9. We're starting with 41, 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50. So 41 and 9 makes 50. Started with 4, ended with a 5 in the tens place. That means it changed. That means we regrouped. You with me? Okay, let's do 23 and 5. Okay, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, and that's right, 28. So I started with a 2 in the tens place in my first number. I ended in my sum also with a 2. That means that my tens place did not change. That means I did not regroup. Last one, 13 and 8. Start with 13. We'll go 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, and 21. Okay, so 13 and 8, 21. I started with a 1 in the tens place. I finished with a 2 in the tens place. That means my number changed. That means I regrouped. Okay? You with me? Do we understand? Now, if you don't, this is the time where you pause your video and you say, hey, Mr. Martin, I need you to explain a little bit more. Hold your thumb up. So if you need to do that now, go ahead and pause your video. If you're still with me, then I would like for you to turn to the middle of your paper. Okay? So, what we're doing, very simply, you are starting. It says you're going to show 17. You're going to add 9. That's your answer. And did you regroup? Yes, you did, because you started with a 1 in the tens place and you finished with a 2. I would like for you to pause the video. I would like for you to do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and 8 now. Very good. Now, let's look over here. Let's look at number 9. It says that this number plus what's in the box makes 44. It says the sum on one side, okay, of the equal sign is 44. That means when I add 39 to this number, I get 44. What number goes in the box? So 39 plus the box equals the box plus 39. What number goes in the box? Pause the video and do number 9. Very good. Let's turn to the back. On the back, number 10 says that the art teacher had 45 paintbrushes. He bought 6 more. How many paintbrushes does the art teacher have now? Had 45, bought 6 more. How many does he have now? Pause video and do number 10. Very good. It says that the art students painted 15 pictures on Monday. The art students painted 9 more pictures on Tuesday. How many pictures did the art students paint in all? Pause video. 15 plus 9. Very good. Let's look at number 12. Number 12 says that there are 37 jars of paint on the top shelf. Okay? There are 6 jars of paint on the bottom shelf. How many jars of paint are there in all? Find the correct answer. Fill in the circle underneath the correct number. Very good, guys. Working hard. I'm digging it. So if you have any questions, raise your hand. I'll come help. If you got it and you're good and you're finished, then go ahead and go log yourself into Prodigy and keep working and learning. Good job, guys.